if you're watching this, the world has crossed a line we all hoped we'd never see. Tonight, global tension has erupted into open conflict. Western nations have moved to the highest alert levels, and intelligence agencies are calling this the most dangerous moment since 1945. This is World War III Day 1. Let's break down exactly what happened, how we got here, and what comes next. The first sign wasn't an explosion. It wasn't a military invasion. It was a series of coordinated power grids flickered across Europe. Banking networks went offline in minutes. GPS systems malfunctioned, causing chaos on the ground and in the air. Airlines worldwide grounded their entire fleets, citing catastrophic navigation failures. Then came the real shock. A NATO surveillance aircraft was shot down near contested airspace. The incident happened too fast for it to be an accident. Western leaders were briefed within minutes, with a chilling confirmation. Hostile engagement confirmed. Immediately, social media ignited with speculation, fear, and fragmented reports. Government websites, the very sources people turned to for answers, overloaded and crashed under the digital stampede. The world sensed something historic, something terrifying, was unfolding in real time. The quiet hum of daily life was replaced by a deafening roar of uncertainty. This wasn't just a regional skirmish. The scale and sophistication of the opening moves pointed to a meticulously planned, global confrontation. The digital curtain had fallen, and baned it. The gears of war were turning. Within the first hour, the response from the West was swift and severe. Capitals activated their continuity of government plans protocols designed for the darkest of scenarios, ensuring that leadership could function even if cities were under attack. In the United States, the signs were unmistakable. Strategic bombers, the long arm of American air power, were placed on immediate standby. Missile defense systems, the nation's shield against incoming threats, went active. Military bases across the country locked down, sealing their gates and raising their alert status. Airspace restrictions expanded nationwide, clearing the skies for military operations. Over in Europe, the reaction was just as urgent. NATO invoked its emergency protocols, a step that mobilizes the combined strength of the alliance. Troops were rapidly deployed to reinforce the eastern flank, creating a steel wall against any potential advance. And for the first time in decades, civil defense networks crackled to life. Air raid sirens were tested, and public alert systems were activated, broadcasting messages of caution and preparation. This wasn't routine. This wasn't posturing or political theater. These was real, tangible mobilization, and the entire world felt the ground shift beneath its feet. The message was clear. The West was preparing for a fight. By now, any lingering hope that this was a misunderstanding or a drill had evaporated. The world understood. The first wave of attacks came in three distinct, yet interconnected forms, designed to cripple modern society before a single shot was fired in a major city. First, the cyber warfare intensified. Major hospitals reported total system failures, putting countless lives at risk. Stock exchanges froze mid-trade, threatening to trigger a global financial collapse. Cellular networks in multiple key regions went completely dark, severing communication lines for millions of people. Modern war begins online, and this was, by far, the largest and most devastating cyber strike in human history. Next came the electronic warfare. This is the silent, invisible battle fought in the electromagnetic spectrum. Military radars were hit with powerful jamming signals, blinding them to incoming threats. Advanced drones, the eyes and ears of the modern battlefield, began to malfunction and fall from the sky. Critical communications between military units were disrupted, sowing confusion and chaos among frontline commanders. Electronic warfare doesn't create explosions, but its effects are just as devastating. Finally, proxy clashes erupted. Small-scale firefights broke out along fiercely contested borders. Nothing nuclear, nothing large-scale yet. But these were the first real shots, confirming that the world was now in a state of open conflict. While governments and militaries were coordinating their high-tech responses, ordinary people on the ground faced a different kind of battlefield. A battle against panic. The news spread like wildfire, and the reaction was instantaneous and primal. Supermarkets were mobbed, their aisles stripped bare in minutes as people frantically stockpiled food, water, and essential supplies. Gas stations saw massive, sprawling lines, with cars queuing for miles as drivers tried to secure fuel before it ran out. Banks, fearing a run, began limiting withdrawals, adding to the growing sense of financial insecurity. Parents rushed to schools to pick up their children, their faces etched with worry. Social media became a double-edged sword, spreading vital information, but also fueling rumors and disinformation faster than officials could issue clarifications. The digital chaos was matched by a real-world disruption. Some regions experienced rolling power outages and internet blackouts, plunging communities into darkness and isolation. In others, the chilling sound of emergency sirens wailed through the streets, followed by shelter-in-place orders broadcast on television and radio. This was the moment civilians realized this isn't a distant war watched on a screen. It's here. It's now, and it affects everyone. By the end of this harrowing first day, as the dust began to settle, world leaders confronted the most terrifying question of all. Is this going nuclear? Thankfully, for now, that line has not been crossed. Every major superpower understands the doctrine of mutually assured destruction. They know that a nuclear exchange is not a war that can be won. The first 24 hours of this new world war were dominated by naval skirmishes, air interceptions, and intense political maneuvering. It's a conventional conflict, at least for now. But the world is now balanced on a razor's edge, closer to that nuclear threshold than at any point in over 70 years. All it would take is one miscalculation, one misread radar signal, one panicked commander, or one unauthorized launch. A single error could trigger a chain reaction from which there is no return. The nuclear arsenals are on high alert, a silent, terrifying reminder of how quickly this conflict could escalate into an extinction-level event. The fate of humanity now hangs by the thinnest of threads, so here we are. The unthinkable has happened. World War III has begun. The West is on maximum alert, its military and civilian infrastructure bracing for what comes next. The global order that has defined our world for decades is collapsing in real time, right before our eyes. Day one is over, but the fight has just begun. In our next video, we will break down what happens in the next 24 hours, how the first critical week of this war is likely to unfold, and which regions around the globe are most at risk of becoming the next major flashpoint. The world is changing faster than ever. This is RedSign. Stay aware, stay informed, and stay prepared. Thanks for watching.